You gotta love this.
That just shows where the show's going today.
It's called the unemployment line, folks. That's right. Welcome to another weekly edition of Town2weekly. I'm your host, Jason Leach. With me is Mark Gorman, Facebook.com/tabnow. Take America back now. We're going to get the show started off. We have a lot to talk about today. Apparently, Obamacare doesn't cover ass whoopings in debates. We're going to talk about schools doing drug testing and much, much more. Why don't you take it away with the school drug testing?
Okay. To start off, we have a school in Georgia. It's a private school named Woodward Academy. They're going to start drug testing by next year. They have 1,000 students in their school, and they plan on doing 40% of the students at a random drug test. I think the number works out to 12 students a week. Personally, the fact that it's a private school does not bother me, because as a parent, you choose to have your kid go there. You're paying for their services. If you don't like it, you can go away. Now, if a public school starts to do that, then I have a problem with it.
But that's what's going to eventually start happening.
It will happen, and if I've been looking up all day, and I can't find it yet, but I'm sure it's already happened in some schools across America. At what point do you decide as a parent that I stop worrying about my child and let somebody else do it? It's bad enough the school system is the only job they need to worry about is teaching our kids, and they're not even doing that right. And now we're going to give them another responsibility to make sure our own kids aren't doing drugs. I'm sorry. That's your responsibility.
Yeah,
What's
but
your opinion on it?
at what point do kids have rights? At what point does a child have a right to say, no, you're not gonna drug test me? It's their personal body.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Because a child's under the age of 18, there's a fine line because technically it's still dictated by a parent.
Now, I can understand like extra activities, sports, things of that nature where they require, drug testing to make sure that there's nothing in your system while you're playing football, anything that can harm you medically.
Yeah,
I get that.
And that's fair.
But there has to come a point.
And you're also signing up for that.
So there has to come a point where enough's enough. I get what you're saying with private schools. Yes, private schools are very expensive. The parents pay out of pocket for that. They're not easy to get into. I can understand that philosophy. If the school's up front and says, hey, in order to get into our private school and give your kids the best education, it's going to require your children to be periodically drug tested, that's a parent's decision. But then again, to me, it falls back on where does because when you're at 15, 16, 17-year-old, you're not really a child anymore.
Yeah.
And, that's when you want to start having those rights, just like you and I have, of illegal search and seizure. They can't get my blood without a warrant. You know what I mean?
Do you think if a student is doing drugs, it makes them a bad student?
No. In fact, most pot smokers I know had straight A's.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I probably should have done that. It would have made my grade point average go up a little bit higher.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
No, I don't. Now, I think people are worried about when it comes to this whole bath salts and, cocaine, meth, things of that nature. Those are some serious, related drugs, and I can understand. But again, like you said, the personal responsibility has to go back on the parents and be the parents.
Should schools do a better job of teaching kids responsibility and not doing drugs? Yes.
What can schools do better jobs of period?
That right now they can, unless you're in a private school.
We failed a school. They kicked. I mean, they have some good sports athletes. That's about it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, everything doesn't revolve around sports, and that's why we're in the mess that we're in most of the times. But I just wanted to bring that up, and it actually works into your point of what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, there's apparently going to be 3 states that want to do pretty much legalization of recreational marijuana usage. I know it's a big topic when it comes up, Ron Paul and the rest of them, they think drugs should be legalized. I mean, me personally, I think certain drugs should be legalized. And by that, it pretty much only means marijuana. It's not. They say it's the gateway drug, but I don't see it that way. It's the Twinkie drug. Okay.
Okay.
You smoke a pot, you eat Twinkie, you go to bed. That's pretty much how it works out.
And the thing is with that, why is marijuana considered a gateway drug? I think it is, but not the reason why most people do. It's when you're going to go buy your marijuana illegally, you're going into an environment where there's plenty of other drugs there, and you have a dealer that's pushing those drugs on you and saying, no, you like that high, try this, you're going to get higher. And that peer pressure is on you. Now, if you go to a convenience store and the only thing they're allowed to sell is marijuana, they can't pressure you other drugs to use. So, yes, it's a gateway drug, but by default, not by the fact that you're taking it.
Well, I think what this law is trying to state is, it's by the way, for y'all joining us, it's in Oregon, Colorado, and Washington State, where they're trying to legalize the basic misdemeanor possession, consumption of marijuana. You know, you and me go to the store, we want to just hit a joint.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. I really don't see an issue with this. I think the jails and the prisons are overcrowded with non-violent offenders that just want to smoke pot.
Yeah.
We can clear most of that out if we just release them and put actually rapists in jail.
I have a friend, and you know him too. He's considered a felon now. Okay? For the rest of his life, he will not be able to vote, carry a handgun, because he had too much pot while he was driving. Okay? Now, whether or not he was going to give it out or if it was personal consumption, I personally don't know. But it just takes a point of a decimal to be over the limit. And just because of marijuana, he can't vote forever for the rest of his life. He's not a violent guy. You know, he didn't hurt anybody. All he did was have too much marijuana in his car.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, breaking the law doesn't constitute, you know, at the time, if that's the law that's in place, you cannot sit there and break it.
No, I'm not
I'm not saying you're condemning. I'm saying, but he's got to man up and say, well, apparently, what is it in the state of Georgia?
Why is it so extreme?
What is the state of Georgia? It's over an ounce, over 1 ounce of marijuana. That's a pretty good bit of marijuana.
But why is that But why are we making it a felony? And now he loses so many rights just because he likes to smoke marijuana and he bought enough to last him for a while.
An ounce is more than a while.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, but you don't know that.
True.
You're assuming what he's doing with it.
Well, why would it be? I don't understand.
What if he was going to a smoke party and he wasn't selling it? He was just sharing it. You know, just because he had that much marijuana doesn't mean he's a dealer. And I just don't like the fact that now we're making him such a criminal. He did his time. He served his time. He didn't drive for 10 years. And now he's still being punished. It just doesn't make sense to me that we have so many other problems going on in the world that we're worrying about a little bit of marijuana.
There's nothing wrong with marijuana.
Well, I didn't say that there was personally, but I'm just saying in general.
Listen, I'm like Bill Clinton. Yes, I smoked pot, but I did inhale. I mean, I know he didn't inhale. I did a couple of times. And really all it did is make me hungry and giggle.
Yeah.
I didn't see any harm in it. It's like smoking a cigarette. Cigarettes are bad for you, but yet those are legalized.
Well,
drinking, I mean, look at the DUIs out there and how many lives those take. But they get less sentences compared to people that carry marijuana. I don't understand.
No, I agree. But I guess we can beat this subject into the ground if we wanted to.
We can beat a lot of things into the ground. All right, moving on. We've got to get to this debate between President Obama's chair and Mitt Romney, because that's pretty much what it boiled down to. Mitt Romney, clearly the biggest winner in this debate. As the Gallup poll shows that this is probably the biggest win at a debate that they've ever seen in their recorded history.
Even though the polls are being counted wrong.
So what do you think?
Well, apparently what's been said is that the polls are 85 or 80% of the polls they were done before the debate.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows to me that there's really more of a push than we know about. Of course, you're not going to get that from the mainstream media. And you know that as well as I do. And I actually have a funny video that I want to share that actually sums up the whole debate.
All right, let's sum up this debate. For those that missed it and were being lazy.
I promise you, folks, that you're going to know. If you didn't see the debate, you're going to have it right here.
You may want to move on to another topic, but I would just say this to the American people. What we've said is but what we've also said is the fact is
It goes on. I mean, I think we got the point.
We got
there.
the point. Listen, by far not.
I never heard a chair talk so much in my life.
By far not Obama's best debate ever. And listen, Obama can speak to a crowd.
Yep.
President Obama can debate, but he's kind of like my Bulldog team. He didn't show up for the game. I'm sorry I had to do it because they irritated me this weekend. But seriously, he didn't show up for the game. Mitt Romney came more ready and prepared than Barack Obama, and that's very surprising. I think, he's been sheltered the last 4 years of media asking questions as far as, what's your favorite food? What kind of music do you like listening to? Instead of someone saying, hey, why are you screwing this, and this up? You know, no one's called him out on that as far as really the mainstream media goes, and I don't think he was prepared in that manner.
I think the Republicans got too excited though after the debate. The average person, the person who doesn't follow politics like me and you, did not get anything out of that debate other than Obama didn't know how to talk.
Oh, no,
Mitt Romney didn't deliver any, besides the fact that he called.
No. Mitt Romney did something that I didn't see coming, and that's what he stood up to the plate and he hit home runs. He called Obama out without being anywhere near worried or afraid of the repercussions. I mean, he called him out on his lies.
Yes.
You know, I think the two biggest punches that I saw in that debate, one would be when Barack Obama, President Obama came out and said, you know, we've produced more oil in this last 4 years of his administration than we ever had. And Mitt Romney came back and said, no, we have, you're right, but not because of your policies.
Yeah.
You know, it's being done on private property, not government-owned property. If you look at the government-owned property, production of oil for the United States is actually down, but the private properties are up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you answer that one? The government's not producing the oil, the private properties are. And then when he hit him with the, you know, Obama came out and said the subsidies of the $2.8 billion a year for oil companies. And then, you know, Mitt Romney came out and said, oh, that's funny because you spent $90 billion in 1 year.
And you're only picking the losers.
For the Green Party, and you're only picking the losers. I mean,
But Jason, seriously though, you just gave me a bunch of details that I already knew, and that I'm sure half the people that we know already know, but the average voter did not take that away from the debate. They didn't.
I'm telling you they did on the principle that Mitt Romney seemed more presidential than the guy that did this. Did this the whole time. I mean, I don't know what he's playing. Tic-tac-toe? I don't know. He's just looking down like this the whole time. Well, you could tell he's getting upset because his cheekbones were pulsating.
Well, I think that the next debate, Obama better be different. I don't want him to be. I want Obama to be the same because I want Romney to win. But if Obama thinks he has a shot in hell to get this, he better be working on his debates. Not, he's screwed. He
will. Obama will be back come the next debate. It's going to be a lot harder. He's going to start calling Mitt Romney out on the comment he made about the 47%ers, things of that nature. I mean, Obama's not going to go down quietly in the night. He's going to stand up. He's going to fight back, and he's going to garner some votes because of it. But you know, the thing that I think about with this debate that I take from it, even though you say that you and me really didn't see much, the fact that Mitt stood up there and has so much confidence about himself, if he could run his campaign like that, this election would already be over.
Well, no, he's a hell of a speaker because I was listening to him speak earlier, and it's just the thing is the media doesn't get that message out.
But he's either hit or miss. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he gets up and gives a speech, you're like, are you serious?
Yeah, but that's anybody. Anybody can give a speech and you're just like, because even Ronald Reagan, I'll go back and listen to some of his speeches and it's like, okay, it wasn't that great. You know, you fast forward through some of it. But overall, I think the media plays a lot in it. But even they were shocked. Even the left media was even like, wow, what happened to Obama?
When you have MSNBC sitting there saying how bad you did, you've done pretty bad.
They were picking their jaws up off the floor.
I mean, he didn't have to throw up his leg anymore. That thrill was gone,
apparently. Tingle
apparently.
going down his leg.
You know what I mean? That was pretty much gone, and he was pretty much calling him out saying, where were you? But here's the biggest piece that I take away from this debate is the fact that most Americans that are not informed like you and I when it comes to the political arena will only watch that first debate. So Obama lost that chance and opportunity he had from the people that aren't going to watch the second or third debate to garner those independent votes, and he did not succeed in doing that. I think Mitt Romney really picked those up.
Well, what about the defense that the left came out with the next day?
The high altitude?
No. Well, that one too, but the fact that the whole time that's all they said is Romney lied. That's what they took it and they ran with it the whole time. He lied. He lied. That's why he did it so good, because he lied.
I don't think he lied per se as much as I think that it definitely bent truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but I think that was on both sides. I don't deny the fact that Romney might have not said 100% the truth or whatever, because I don't know the details.
Are debates really about telling the truth, though? In my opinion, no. I mean, they should, don't get me wrong. Yeah. They should. But really, when you get in a debate, it's all about perception. You're trying to get people to perceive you as a confident president that you can be. And that's what they're going to vote for. That's what they're going to want, regardless of what you might or might not say.
Well, all right. Give some of the examples of the reasons why he did bad.
Obama?
Yeah, from the media. Like the one you just said, high altitude.
Well, Al Gore coming out. Al Gore and his climate control, even though he flies around in private jets. came out and said that Obama, because of the high altitude, see, Mitt Romney practiced in Denver. So Mitt Romney already had hours that his body was able to get adjusted and used to that high altitude, whereas Barack Obama had like 3 hours and his brain cells didn't get. Are you seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously. No, Obama didn't show up because Obama didn't practice. I mean, if you look at that video, he didn't even look like he wanted to be there.
Well, I like Michael Moore was. Well, no wonder you didn't win. Al Gore was your debate coach.
That's a good point, too.
Did you not see that
I didn't
one?
hear that one. I like that. That's funny.
They came up with so many.
Well, then they
reasons
blamed the
why.
moderator, too, because they said the moderator didn't take control of the debate. And even though Romney said that not only would he fire Big Bird, he'd also fire the moderator, I thought that was a pretty funny point. But, it's not the moderator needs to step back and just make sure that each get equal time. It's really let those two go to town, debate the issues, and see who comes out on top.
Jason, how dare a person running for office sit there and tells me that he's going to cut money from a TV program? I mean, how dare he does that? We need PBS. We need Sesame Street.
Yeah.
We need food stamps and welfare. We need those things.
Some of those we do. Some of those we're never going to get rid of. But the point that he really made in that debate was we got to stop funding programs that have absolutely no impact financially on America and borrowing that money from China to support it. Mm-hmm. Okay, PBS is not one of those things that we need. PBS needs to be run by a private company. Let them take over. Let them make it profitable, because when they do, it becomes successful that way.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a small, minute number, but it's still a number. I don't care if you're saving 1 penny in one department. That's what I want to see. We got to start cutting somewhere. My suggestion was the 20% cut across everything: military, education, everything.
Well, I mean, we're putting too much money into the foreign policies, spending billions and billions of dollars into countries that are trying to attack us. We need to put money back into protecting our own border and not worrying about other people's borders.
What do you got for us? Davis is our producer. What do you got?
Well, a couple of people in the chat room had a couple of comments. GWiz1129 just basically said, we do need those things. Maybe not how it is today.
Well, can I clarify my thought on that? I mean, I was being sarcastic to the point. I understand we need certain welfare programs, but I just think when you're overwhelmingly trying to help people get onto the program instead of helping them getting off, that's wrong. When you can go and get a cell phone and free, all kinds of free stuff, and you try and say America has so many poor people, but the average poor person in America has better living standards than people in Europe.
Well, they did. I remember they did a story one time with the people at like the food shelter lining up for the food, and they went down a line. You got to say, "Oh, I got a cell phone right here."
Yeah.
How many big screens do you have? 3.
They did one.
You're just like,
sorry.
These are decisions. These are financial decisions you make that put you in the circumstance that you are in right now.
Well, gee whiz, I'm not saying it's Obama's fault. I'm just saying, in general, why? Any cell phone you pick up, if it doesn't have service, it will dial 911. Now, did you see the one that was in Georgia when this lady didn't get government assistance for her to keep her house heated during the wintertime? And they took a photo of her, and she's standing in front of a 32-inch flat screen TV with an Xbox and a PlayStation, and it's like, she said she barely has enough money to heat more than one room in her house. You know what? I was born in Ireland, and over there, you heat the room you're in. That's plain and simple. You don't waste money on heating your whole house if you're not in your whole house. And then, look, I'm sorry that happened to her, but you know what? When you go spend money on things you don't need, like flat screen TVs, PlayStations, and all that, don't come to me crying that you don't have enough money to heat up your whole house. You only have enough money to heat up your whole room.
Correct. What else we got?
Yeah, what else you have, Will? Sorry.
Also, Hen8955 just basically put, how many people have voted early, ruining their chance to changing their mind?
Are you talking about early voting? Okay.
Yeah, the early voting that's going on right now. And I think Romney's definitely picking up when it comes to grabbing some of those voters as compared to Obama was great at it in 2008. In fact, there's some states that he lost in the main election, but was able to overcome that loss and win that state because of the early voting. I think Obama's going to take a hit in that department after this first debate. But again, it's, I think the early voters kind of already knew exactly who they're going to vote for, period. and they're just getting a head start.
I truly see a big win for Romney on election day.
I can't.
I do, because they're overcompensating for the turnout of 2008 and the enthusiasm that they had. And they don't have that now. People are not enthusiastic to vote on both sides. But remember, Obama brought record numbers out. And they're still basing all their polls on that number.
And Obama will bring record numbers out in 2012.
I don't think
they
he
won't
will.
be the numbers that he had in 08.
No.
By no means will be. It'll definitely be a closer race than McCain and Obama. I agree with you on that one. I just don't see, unless Romney can keep performing well in these debates and keep that momentum and that determination that he had in the first debate, he's not going to win.
Yeah. And currently I'm going to look it up, so I'll let you say something while I try and find the correct information. But there's a few states out there that matter. Like the rest of the country, they're not even campaigning.
Well, it's your swing states. It's the ones that got the most electoral college votes. California, New York, Florida, North Carolina. I mean, those are the swing states that they have got to win over in order to win this election. That's why they campaign so much in Ohio. Ohio can go either way, and usually whichever way Ohio goes is the person that's going to be, elected into that political office.
Let me list them off so we don't get called
Okay.
out. We got Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Yeah, right? That's it?
Yep. Nevada, I think you skipped over.
Is that okay? So I said okay. And rightfully so, they should be spending their time focusing on these states. But at the end of the day, you think, they're not really trying to appeal to the rest of America. And isn't that what the Obama administration gave Romney a hard time about, the 47%, saying he doesn't care about 47%? Well, excuse me, Mr. President, it looks like you only care about 20% of America right now. You're only focusing on these 8 states. And Romney's doing the same, and I'm not trying to say either one's better for it, but at the end of the day, do you think that's...
Well, you got to grab the swing. Without the swing states, you don't win the election. Plain and simple. And it's sad that it comes down that America comes down to 10 or 12 states that determine who's going to be the president. But it is what it is. It's just like when I get pissed off because I hear these people that know absolutely nothing about politics. They think Ron Paul is Obama's running mate, and they think Ron Paul's black. And it's just like, are you serious? And these are the people that cancel out my vote, and that's what irritates me so much. But at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to: who's got the most money, and right now it's Barack Obama.
Yeah, I'm currently on Politico.com. Nevada's got 50 for Obama, 50 for New Hampshire. Let's see, there's currently Florida is
Dead even.
Dead even. Does Romney even have anything on here?
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything on here. They're giving him North Carolina. Florida.
Again, but we don't want to jump to conclusions because how many people come out of these voting places and they're so sick of the media coming in and trying to determine who the winner is. They say, let's say I voted for Romney, but when I come out, I'm like, no, I voted for Obama.
Well, look at the Reagan-Jimmy Carter one.
Yeah,
I mean,
they construe the polling, and I don't really like going by poll numbers, to be honest.
Did you know when 2 weeks ago when I left the show, I got a phone call asking me polling questions.
I've never gotten that.
I was surprised. I put on speaker so my Lucretia could hear it.
So someone else could hear that you're actually getting.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll be honest that I answered towards Romney all the questions except for one. Who would you rather have a beer with, Romney or Obama? And I put Obama because I think I'd rather want to yell at him during that beer than anything else. But that's the thing that sucks is that Obama comes across as a more likable person you would actually talk to. In general sense.
Yes.
In general sense.
I don't think he's a bad person.
Right.
His policies are horrible.
Mitt Romney doesn't have that personal touch where you say, oh, he sounds like a cool
Mitt
guy.
Romney bores me.
Yeah. Bores a lot of people.
He bores a lot of people. And I don't think he's just as any worse than what Obama is. I really don't. It's just the lesser of the two evils, and Romney's got my vote.
Well, this is what I have
at
to
least
say.
for now. I might just write in my vote, but to be honest with you, I think I'm going to write Herman Cain in.
I will slap you on the face if you do that. That's just as bad as voting for a libertarian.
No. See, my philosophy, as long as you go to the voting polls and actually vote, you can bitch all you want. If you don't go to the voting polls, you don't vote, don't complain.
But do you think we can really recover from Obama 4 more years?
We're going to have to, because I don't see Romney winning.
I don't agree.
What else we got?
That's it on the chat rooms.
But you don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that Romney could win?
There's always a chance. I just don't see it.
All right.
Even with Obama's bad debate performance, Right now, I don't see it. I think I lose my $50.
We got a beer with Obama fine Scotchwood Romney.
I could go for that.
We got somebody else saying I'll move to Canada, which is actually funny. There's an airline out there that's
JetBlue
that will pay for your ticket out of America if you tell them who you're going to vote for before election day, and that candidate doesn't win. They will pay for your ticket, and they're doing 1,000 people, so you have to,
Be
you
one
win
of
the
the
lottery.
1,000.
And they said they'll give you a return ticket in case you change your mind.
So free vacation.
Pretty much.
I might need to sign up for that.
But you know what, I say to those people, I can understand the fear and the hatred and all that, but you know what? This is your country. Don't run away.
Yeah.
Don't back down. If he does win 4 more years, let's put a Republican Congress in there. We can't. If you, like you say, you think Obama's going to win, fine. But go out there and fight for the Congress.
Yeah, the one thing I see, though, with the country, with Obama, is if you put that Republican Congress in there, Obama's just going to bypass that and go with executive orders on everything. That's his power. That's what he does. When he doesn't get his way in Congress, he signs executive orders to other departments to make sure that what he wants enforced still gets enforced. So,
So do you think Obama would go straight socialism, dictator style on us? If he
Why? Okay, I'm not saying that he would, but
No, I mean,
what would he have to lose? Who's going to stop him? It's not like he's got another election. It's not like he's got another election to run for. He's got 4 years of power where no one can touch him.
Well, I might not be successful, but I'll try my damnedest to stop any president that tries to take over the country like that. I get tired of people saying that I'm just one man, but you know what? I'll stand my ground when I have to.
All right.
What you got for us, Will?
GWiz1129 has also mentioned that don't Canada have universal health care?
They do, and they're going bankrupt with it. That's why the higher ups in the parliament up there in Canada come down to the United States for their medical care. It's funny, all the countries that have socialized Medicare come to the United States.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with our Medicare system. We've got the best doctors in the world.
And that's the thing. That's why my parents, when I was 2 years old, we came to America. They took my 4 brothers and my sister, my 2 parents, so that's 8 people. My parents saved up the money for an airplane ticket for 8 people, saved up the money for visas. What did we have? We had a suitcase each when we got here. That's it. And we started from nothing. We worked our way up because we were getting away from that, okay, well, we'll just take care of you. We'll take care of you. No. My dad's like, no, enough. I want to work. Let me work for my own stuff. And so we come over here, and now, like 20 years later, 23 years later,
it's right. It's catching up.
Yeah. And what will stop Obama from being going dictatorship if he gets elected 4 more years? I can't see it happening like that overnight. I can understand he'll keep doing the things he does by bypassing Congress.
Who's that? Valerie Jarrett, who told everybody, we are ready to rule from day one. Not we are ready to lead from day one. We're ready to rule from day one.
We're going to rule from day one.
That's a dictatorship comment right there, in itself. I don't know. Let's move on. VP debates coming up this Thursday. We talked on the show before, that Biden shouldn't even show up. He should just put an empty chair. It's kind of funny because that's what happened in the first debate, in the presidential debate. I have a feeling that either Biden's going to do 2 things. He's going to do very good in this debate, or he's going to hurt Obama a lot worse.
Yeah, I think Republicans' expectations of the debate are too high. I think they're overlooking the fact that you don't become the vice president by being dumb. As many stupid statements as Biden makes, he's got a team out there that's been training him for at least the last couple of days, hopefully, if he's smart. And I just think he's going to come to the debate, and he might not be great at it, but he's not going to be as dumb as people really think he is. I don't know. What do you think?
He comes off so dumb on the TV.
I know.
I don't think. I think he needs to realize.
What did you say?
He definitely needs to come in there knowing that he's not debating Sarah Palin again. Okay.
Yeah, but she did a good job at the debating because if you watch it back, she knew to not answer the questions directly and say, well,
that's what I want. I want direct answers. I don't care if I like it or
even Romney didn't do that. That's just how debating is. You don't, because once you answer that question directly, then they got a soundbite of you and you're screwed for the rest of the election. You have to say, that's a good question, but let me reaffirm my choices on life or whatever.
Yeah, but then all you do is go to the media in front of the media next day and say I misspoke. That's what the Democratic Party is known to do all the time.
It doesn't matter. Once it's on YouTube, once it's in that video clip, you're screwed. Because you could say the sentence, I think college is not for everyone, and then take it, college is not for everyone. You know, you start chopping it up to where it says, college shouldn't be for people. You know, you just take it down to whatever way you want to use it.
Well, if they got the common sense, they're going to understand college is not for everyone.
Wait. What did you just say?
College is not for everyone. I'll say it right now.
You said common sense.
Well, common sense, yes.
If they have the common sense.
If they have the common sense, they realize that college is not for everyone. You know, it takes that personal responsibility, personal determination, and personal sacrifice to get yourself through that education. But that's a whole other topic. What else we got?
I do think Ryan was a great pick for Romney, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Marco
What, did you
Rubio,
want a black person or something?
No, I know Marco Rubio is very young
I did like
when
him.
it comes to federal politics, but that man knows how to talk to people. You know what I mean? I've seen his speeches, and he has no issues, and he really gets down to the heart of people.
But, you know, and if I wanted Marco Rubio, too. I liked him. But I wasn't disappointed when I saw Paul Ryan. I didn't know who he was, really, at first. I knew a little bit about him, but not enough.
My real pick for VP?
Herman Cain?
No, not even Herman Cain.
That's mine.
Chris Christie.
You can't do it.
Why?
He's too extreme.
That's why I love him.
I love him, too, but...
He comes out there and he'll tell you like it is. He gives a finger to the teacher unions and say, "Bring it."
I know, but that wouldn't work, though.
Yeah, it wouldn't work, but I wish we had that kind of politician that can come out there and just say it like it is, whether you like it, whether you hate it.
Well, what do you think about the moderator in the presidential debate?
The moderator, what's his name? Jim
I can look it up real quick.
Lair, am I right?
Yeah, who works for PBS.
Who works for PBS and was told he would be fired, even though Romney said, "I like you."
But you know, that's a job. I mean, if I have a company of 100 employees and I can only afford 90 of them, I'm sorry, guys, I have to let you go. If I don't let you go, then 100 people are going to lose their jobs because I can't afford it to have the company running.
Well, I give him some credit. What a seat that to be in, and hear both of them going back and forth like that, and try to moderate every single thing that's going on with the debate. He did the best job he could. He gave both candidates plenty of time. Whether they chose to talk like Romney did or chose to look at the ground like Obama did is two different things. But, it's not his job to sit there and put words in their mouths. It's really his job to say, "You're next. What do you think? You're next." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think that there's a point where it's like, okay, you're the moderator. I understand you need to keep this a level playing field, but just shut up and let them go. If they're going at it and they're going back and forth, great. Then say, okay, look, we've talked about this topic. Let's move. And he did a good job of that because he did. But there are some points where it's like, you know what? Let him go at it. And I do like the point where he's like, "Mr. President, you have 5 seconds or whatever." He's like, "Well, you lost my 5 seconds by telling me that." But the favorite quote that I love the most from that debate was, "Mr. President, your time is up." And not just in the debate. I think that should be applied to his career.
Well, and then what he says is, "Well, Jim, you took 5 seconds off my time."
Yeah. Well, when he said, "Mr. President, your time's up," I felt that applied to not just the debate.
All right, moving on. What do we got? Anything over there, Davis?
We do have from Taylor Bigface. He was mentioning that Biden will be laser focused on a handful of topics and will not stray.
And I agree with him. I think that his group of people are sitting there and just pumping them full of information, say, "Ignore this, ignore that. Don't listen to Paul Ryan. He's going to call you out. Ignore it and just talk about these issues right here. What they're going to be, that's going to be the surprise."
Yeah, but if he pulls the same body language and that the president did in his debate, they're screwed. I mean, he's got to come out a little bit more confident than the president was. I mean, he's got to put them back on the map again, because if he doesn't, they're going to be hurt even more when it comes to these people early voting.
Well, if he does really bad, I don't think it's going to be a significant loss to the campaign.
Well, he misspoke the other day.
I saw a clip, but I had the mute on.
He comes out to the podium and says, the Romney people say that we want to raise taxes by $1 trillion. Well, guess what? Yes, we do. And I'm just like,
good old Joe.
You just lost. You're losing votes, my friend. Regardless of who the taxes go towards, you're losing votes by saying that.
Well, did you hear the comment he made that the last 4 years, the middle class has been under the worst recession ever. And I'm like, yeah, guess who's been president the last 4 years?
Well, but it's not their fault. We're still blaming,
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Bush.
You still got to blame
Bush's fault.
you blame Bush, and I think it's so funny. Another one that came up in the debate was the deficit was a big one. Obama came out under the Bush administration, who spent, I think it was close to $4.9 trillion in 8 years of his whole administration, and President Obama called him unpatriotic for doing that. Well, I felt like Romney should have hit the president with, well, what's $6 trillion mean?
Yeah.
You know what? We'll take $1 trillion off him. We'll put that $1 trillion blame Bush over here with Bush too.
Yeah.
And you still outspent the president in 4 years compared to his 8 years that he had in office. And I think that was a missed opportunity he could have had there.
Well, I want to play a video. I need to send it to you because I won't be able to play it from.
We just play the volume. Do you need the video, or can we just do the volume?
Well, I got to turn my blog thing off here. Hold on. It's pretty good. It's worth listening to. If you haven't heard it already, this is Joe Biden after the debate. I don't know exactly how long after, but he was giving a speech somewhere, of course.
All kidding aside, with all the booze, I mean, we can stop.
Is the audio good?
Look, guys,
No? Okay. Maybe you can play it on yours, or I'll send it to Will. Okay, well, we'll play it in a minute then.
Well, I also have something to jump at y'all as well.
Okay, great.
GWiz1129. Ryan needs to come and sell his message to the normal people. Don't throw numbers around.
Unfortunately, GWiz, that's not his forte per se. He's a numbers guy when it comes to budgets and everything else. But I think he will use some common sense and lower down that volume as far as the numbers go, and pretty much try to speak plain English so that people can understand it.
That's the thing that people don't realize. We need a president that connects with the average person, but we need a president that also knows what they're doing. Their whole focus. I hate these polls that say who's more likable. Who cares? Who's going to get the job done? Okay, we're going to play that clip of Joe Biden.
How, all kidding aside, with all the booze, I mean, we can stop all that malarkey. Look, guys, think of this is deadly earnest, man. This is deadly earnest. How they can justify raising taxes in the middle class has been buried the last 4 years. How in the Lord's name can they justify raising their taxes with these tax cuts? So look.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can the Obama administration justify raising
He was still
taxes?
okay, hold on. In his defense, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate. He was still in the 2008 election mindset.
But that's the problem with Biden. That's why I think he's going to do a better job in his debate, because he's going to have the time and he's going to realize, and they're going to show him these clips like, look, you're an idiot. Stop talking. Okay, this is what we want you to say. Stop saying what you want to say.
I'm waiting for the, I know this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I'm waiting for the Obama ad with Sesame Street.
You think it's going to happen?
Like, where's the Occupy Sesame Street? It's a legitimate question. They're making hoo-ha about this whole comment Romney made about Sesame Street, but no one's protesting that. They want to occupy Wall Street. Occupy Sesame Street. Save their jobs.
Well, they already have Oscar the Grouch out there, so
Yeah.
That's a start.
One, unemployment. All right, let's see if we got some more topics here from people. Is there anything there, Davis?
Taylor Bigface just made a comment. Person to person, had his Ryan's forte. He wins election by being local to his community. He wins votes in the capital.
Yeah. And
Well,
using numbers.
numbers. Well, I want to say numbers don't lie, but numbers paint a clearer picture than words. If you're a math person, you can actually see it on a piece of paper.
Yeah, but don't do mathematical equations in a debate. Just throw out the debt.
Oh, so you want them to come up with a bomb and say, this is the bomb line, and if it gets here, we're gonna all die. That's what you want, right? That's what the average voter wants.
Well, that's what Netanyahu did in his
that's why I have
United
to pull that
Nations
one out.
speech. But yeah, kind of like that. Here we are here we are here, and leave it at that. But I don't know. I think he's going to do just fine in this debate. I don't think Biden's going to succeed. Again, like I said, either Biden's going to be 100% on his A game, or he's going to be 100% sinking in the sand.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else we got out there that we can muster up?
Let's see what we got. No, we appreciate y'all joining. We're going to go with...
Actually, hold on.
Do we have something?
Well, you mentioned my Facebook.com/tab now, Taking America Back Now. Please go on there, like it, share it. We also have a Town2weekly. It's Facebook.com/Town2weekly. And Jason has politicallyscrewed.com. You haven't mentioned that yet. Maybe you want to...
Yeah, politicallyscrewed.com where I do my personal blogs and piss a lot of people off. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah, fair enough. I would definitely check it out. It's very interesting blogs. It makes you laugh, but it informs you at the same time. So, do you want to do a final say?
Well, I'll finish off the final say. I'll let you go first.
Well, honestly, I don't really have a final say. I wasn't prepared enough for one. But I do want to invite you, though, if you're in the chat room right now, we're going to switch to a different blog account. And that's your name, right?
It's I believe it's political. I don't know.
No, okay. You have the one account only, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's going to be www.blogtv.com/people/Jason Leach, all one word. If you can copy and paste that, put it in the chat room so people can see it. We're going to move the show over there. We're going to talk about a little bit less presidential politics and do.
We're going to make
topics.
it fun.
Well, I wouldn't say fun. It's less informative.
I might tuck it. We don't know yet.
It's less informative.
That's worth watching.
More entertaining. So please head on over there. We'll be there in a few minutes. My final say, I'll leave you with a joke. How about that?
All right.
Jason, how do you know your girlfriend's getting fat?
She starts looking like Big Bird.
No, she fits in your wife's clothes.
Oh, that's messed up.
All right, that's my joke and my final
My final say is, with everything going on, I feel like, and I don't think it's just me, the political atmosphere out there is causing so many people to fight and, defriend each other on Facebook. You got to sit back and kind of relax.
Yeah.
Even with some of my friends, I've gotten in heated debates with them, and we pretty much give each other the finger and call it a day. But it's time to relax. Let's enjoy a little bit of fun and have a good laugh. This video I'm going to play now is Mitt Romney style for my final say.
Mitt Romney style. Romney style. I got a horse in the Olympics, girl, but I don't even watch him. In and out of tax loopholes, cause I'm so fucking awesome. Bitch, it's Friday night, we benefit hopping. Check my spit, us consumption.
Gotta laugh, enjoy it.
I got distinguished hair and a private jet that flies me way up in the air. Buy and sell the company with so much savoir-faire. I bought a mansion for each one of my 24 heirs. Straight up millionaire. Affluence, extravagance, that's mix. Hey, I'm so mix. Hey, profits, investments, that's mix. Hey, I'm so mix. Hey, you sure don't like me 'cause I got so much money. Mitt Romney style.
Okay, I think we got it.
Do it.
I think we got it.
It gets better.
Mitt Romney
How
style.
can it get better?
You gotta wait for Ron Paul to come on.
Romney style.
I didn't know.
Ron Paul's on.
Mitt Romney style. Wealthy ladies. Mitt Romney style. Wealthy ladies.
Here he is.
I'm the VP nominee. Who budget I be cutting? I got the eyes and body, so I'm gonna be strutting. I'll cut your social safety net. You losers ain't got nothing. Gotta stop snoozing. Start hustling.
Dog on the fruit.
I got large amounts in Swiss bank accounts. Norris and Eastwood in my vacation house. Talking wine and cheese, mad IV degrees. Baby, I got butlers just to wipe me. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy ladies. Mitt Romney style. Kissing babies. Mitt Romney style. Mitt Romney style.
and college humor for that one. Thank you again for joining us at Town 2 Weekly. We'll see you next Monday at 7 o'clock.
Bye.
Toodles.
Thank you for joining us today, and hopefully to see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and please don't forget to subscribe below.
You done text him?
Oh, Jesse's texting me.